So I met my daughter last night in Atlanta. She flew in. She went to the mountains in Georgia to go hiking and stuff. And so we met for dinner in Atlanta, and I popped in Trader Joe's and got the new cardamom coffee and the new bourbon vanilla bean syrup. And it was so good. And it's just what I needed to get me to get started this morning. It's really good, but it's kind of like the pumpkin spice. You gotta like it. If you don't like the spice cardamom, you won't like the coffee. But I like it and I look forward to it. It's a seasonal item, but I needed it to jumpstart me for everything I gotta do today. I gotta go and plant in the garden and make a freezer meal. So at the end of this video, there will be the freezer meal. So if you want to skip everything else and go straight to the freezer meal, it's at the end. Y'all, it is unseasonably cold here. It's not even 50 degrees today, and we're still in October. And I have been putting off planting my elephant garlic. And it's been raining here almost every day. And so it's overcast now, it's not raining. So I've got this whole basket of elephant garlic to go down the garden and plant. That's not even all of it. I've got 2 more boxes in the house that we harvested that I've got to go through and chop up, and I'm gonna freeze it. I just haven't got to it yet. I've been so busy, y'all. I know we're supposed to be retired, but daggone, I'm staying busy. So let's go down and clean out some garden beds and get this garlic in the ground. Would y'all look? We got all those flowers still yet, and it's almost winter. And but look at them. They are so nice. Yeah, I want you to see how big these cloves are. They're huge. And they're so good. They're like a cross between a shallot and a garlic. And they have been really good. Well, y'all, I did it. I got 2 full beds of garlic planted. And I still have a mess of garlic left, y'all. We planted 1 pound of elephant garlic last year. And it produced. I mean, it's so produced. I've got 2 full boxes. 2 12 by 12 boxes full of garlic still. And some of it I'm going to take and chop up in the food processor and put it in freezer trays and freeze it, so I'll have fresh garlic, you know, until it runs out. The rest of it, I'm not sure. I gave some to my daughter-in-law. I've been giving it away here and there. My kids might get some of it in their stocking this year for Christmas. We just have so much. And I only planted 2 beds last year, so I planted the same amount this year. So I have a feeling we're gonna have a lot of it again next year. But there could be worse problems, right, than having too much garlic. I know that right now people are worried about their food stamp benefits for November 1st because, you know, they say that they might not be getting them. But y'all, I think food insecurity is probably going to keep getting a little dicey in our country. I know people talk about it all the time, but that's why, you know, you should try to do your best and, you know, having a little stock pantry. Don't go full on prepper, but having like a month or 2 supply of food that you can draw off of easily. Just like whenever you go to the store, just pick up something a little extra and just have it put by in case, you know, even like what I did here recently, there was something I really wanted to buy and it really wasn't in the budget to buy it, but I went ahead and splurged and bought something I really wanted, knowing that I wouldn't go to the grocery store that week because I had enough food in our pantry and in our freezer to last us a week. I have enough probably to last us a few weeks, but you know, we had that to draw on, so I had the, you know, the ability to make that purchase because I just would cut off the grocery store that week. But I think we all should, you know, be prepared for things like that. And maybe somebody, when you get the food stamps or the food benefits from the government, I really think they should have to go through a class, honestly. A class on how to budget and how to shop and how to use them wisely, because sometimes I don't think they are. I personally know people who have them, and they truly, I'm not going to say they eat better than Greg and I, because they buy junk, y'all, and junk's expensive. Junk food is very expensive. And they shop, you know, places that prices are higher, and we tend to only shop at Aldi, and plus we draw off of, you know, what we have in the garden and stuff. But I don't know, and I know a lot of people are really upset, you know, about them not getting them come November 1st, but, you know, there could come a time that they won't be there at all anymore. Who knows what's in our future? I know the Bible says in Revelations about, what is it? Wheat, and I'm going to have to look that up. I'll put it up on the screen. for a denarius for a day's wages, wheat and wine or something like that, where, you know, food's going to get so expensive that it's going to take a lot of money to even buy it. So maybe food insecurities are going to continue to get worse, and all of us should, you know, be somewhat prepared for it as best we can. And I'm not a prepper, and I don't believe in all that prepping thing, because where do you stop? I don't know. Where would you stop? How much do you prep? How much do you keep? But I do think it's prudent to keep at least a month's worth of food in your house in case something like this happens, especially if you're on food stamps, because you get the people that I know that get them, like I said, they spend like 3 times the amount of money that Greg and I spend in a month on food. So they would be more than able to stock their pantry up a little bit if they wanted to. But that's why I'm saying I think that perhaps maybe with these government benefits, there should be educational classes that people go through to get them, so they know how to, you know, spend them wisely, and also to get off of them, because they shouldn't be something that people are on for a lifetime, unless, you know, I understand that disabled and elderly people, they may need, you know, that extra help, no fault of their own. But I'm talking about the young ones and all of that, you know, they're able-bodied, y'all. They're able-bodied. That's all I'm going to say, is they're able-bodied. But anyway, I don't want this to go and get political. But it's things are just getting crazy in our country right now, and it's just, you know, it's the sign of the times. Like I was saying, everyone needs to be prepared a little bit, and I don't know what that looks like for your family. For my family, it's just some extra freezer meals, some extra things in our pantry, and it's just good. It's just good common sense. It helps you with your budget. It helps you if there's a weather event, if there's anything that happens, at least you know you've got some food to carry you through. But anyway, I'm going to go in the kitchen. I bought a big old pork loin at Aldi when I went grocery shopping 2 weeks. It's been almost 2 weeks since I went grocery shopping, y'all, and I'm still pulling off that grocery trip that I went on, and I only spent $110 on that trip. And so far, it's lasted me 2 weeks, and I honestly think it's going to last me another week because of all the freezer meals that I've put up. Because, like, every time I make dinner, it's just Greg and I freeze in my freezer cubes the extra. So today I'm making this big pork loin, and I'm going to put it in a crock pot and just put all different kinds of spices on it, kind of neutral spices. And I'm hoping to get at least 5 to 6 meals out of it. I'm thinking I'm going to shred it and put it in the freezer cubes and freeze it, and hopefully to get something to make like pork carnitas, to make barbecue pulled pork, and maybe just even pork and gravy and mashed potatoes. Just, you know, I'll have that protein in the refrigerator or freezer, and I can pull on it whenever I want to, and that'll make even more meals and make things go even further. The freezer cubes, y'all, I know I keep harping on them, but they have totally changed my life. I don't know. I wish I would have known about it years ago. I don't think they've only been out a few years, but they really have, y'all. I mean, my grocery budget is shrunk, and my meal choices, we have so many different meal choices in the freezer last night, and y'all, I've only been doing this for a week and a half, and it's great. And like I said, I did not spend a full day cooking all these freezer meals and putting them up. No, I cook whatever we're having for dinner, and then I put it in the freezer cubes, whatever's left over. I made a soup the other day, and I had extra fire roasted tomatoes and kidney beans. And typically I would have threw those away. I put them in a freezer cube and popped them in the freezer. I meant life-changing. But anyway, the recipe for how I made the pork loin, which is so simple, will follow, and how many freezer cubes I ended up getting out of it. But anyway, y'all have a nice and blessed day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. This $9.22 pork loin, it's like a little over 4 pounds, is going to become 6 meals for us, and I'll show you how. Okay, y'all, we're going to spice it up. Hey, y'all, back to what I was saying. We're going to spice it up. We're going to put all kinds of spices on it, but they're going to be kind of neutral spices. The first one I'm using is this one. It's got pepper, salt, and let's see what all it has in there. There you go. All the mushrooms and all that. Then we're going to go in with some salt, pepper, and garlic. Put that in there. The humidity down here in my basement's got this one, I'll tell you. Then we're going to go in with some celery salt. Just cover it really good. Spices are important. Then I'm just going to put a little bit of the steak seasoning in here too. And see, some onion powder. And some Trader Joe's 21 seasoning salute, and it has everything in there. There's all kinds of stuff in that. And I know it looks like a lot, but trust me, it's good, and it's going to help us make this into a bunch of different dishes. Made 6 dinners, so I've got 5 in the freezer cubes and what we had tonight. So for $9 we got 6 proteins.